YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV. Yo, Tim Westwood TV, I'm at Capital XTRA. Dizzee Rascal, family.
What's happening?
From day to now.
From day to now.
Congratulations.
And hereafter.
Let's talk about what's happening here and now. So obviously, Don't Gas Me, Drop From Nowhere, brand new EP, Setting on Fire, the joint with Skepta, Money Right, crazy. Quality ringing off on the radio, real nice. What was the thought behind the EP, just to get something out there?
I wanted it out for summer.
Yeah.
Originally, so that's why it ended up just being 5 tunes because of the timings.
Yeah.
But then each track is kind of representative of kind of stuff I do. So you got the more hip hop side, grime side, then you still got elements of the dance. Yes. But where the majority of it's produced by me, there's only one that isn't. It's the Skepta one. So it's all still a bit different.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to just be producing again.
Yeah, exactly. To get back in the mix. I
guess every time you put out a project, it kind of, because there's so much going on, especially now. So yeah, to just throw yourself back in the mix. I feel like as long as you're in the mix, it's all good.
Yeah.
But it's good this time because I'm in the mix with a totally different sound. If you go to listen to this EP, it's not gonna sound like anything that you're hearing out right now. I know, because that's a guarantee of what happens when I make the beats myself. So it was nice to be able to come full cycle and do that again. Because obviously, in the beginning, right at the beginning, say we like, even before my first album, Boy in the Corner, I was making beats and putting them out there for
exactly.
MC on myself.
And the thing with you making beats, that represents you. That's your sound, and for your lyrics on your sound, it can't be touched, man.
Right.
I mean. Crazy world. It's just so good to have you back.
Thank you,
and out there, like paying attention to what's going on, like being of a different generation now. Like we've got so many generations of artists in the game. Obviously, like people like yourself, then Skepta, and then the grime guys, the drill guys, and now the new guys.
It's all related.
Yeah.
Because even the guys that are doing Afro swing and they all like. A lot of them were grime MCs at one point, or even people like Nines and that. I heard that he used to be a grime MC, because that's grime is our thing. Like the sound, people like me, a few other people, obvious ones. Who, we cultivated the actual sound of it, made it unique. But obviously everybody's into hip hop, rap music, so it's just a kind of branch off of hip hop as well. Anyway, so that's why a lot of these other people, especially the ones that are popping now, they grew up listening to like MCs on radio and were MCing themselves, but they found something that works for them. Not all of them, but I'm saying a lot of them did come from
from that world.
Exactly.
Man. And these real young guys on the game now, man, like
they're interesting to watch, man. I always just see what everyone's up to and just try and understand why it's big, especially with say like drill. Like I was with AJ Tracy yesterday. I said like, where do they play drill? What clubs do they play that in? Because obviously hip hop and whatever dance music's all like at some point it's gonna be in a club, innit? But with that stuff, I'd like, where's the drill event? We had grime raves. There's always been hip hop raves. Before we put the mic on, we was talking about the early hip hop raves that we were talking about back in the early 90s. There's always been a scene for it. For with drill, I don't know where is that?
I think the drill hits play in the club. The drill hits, the ones with the chorus.
So which ones?
Ringing off.
So which ones?
The 6/7s, the 150s,
Unknown T's.
They ring off. They ring off crazy. The hardcore ones, I think, are more just consumed on YouTube and on the phone. Yeah.
But millions of views.
Millions beyond belief.
So it's a crazy time, because it makes me think that, okay, see early Channel U days, would it have been the same for Chung Fam or any of these guys if social media was around then?
Oh, I think they would have been so much
bigger. Or
PDC
or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
they would have been so much bigger. They had it hard, man.
Right.
They were from an era where there was so little opportunity, man. So little opportunity.
Right.
But now you're in an era where there's so much competition.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
If you look at it as competition, because there's always been competition. So it just what is your focus? Is your focus just getting your music to your fans, trying to do something, or is it the other thing where sometimes there's some gang activity, whatever, people, we don't like them, we don't get on, so we want us to go harder than them. There's always been that. And there's always been competition, I'm saying, but you can just focus on your fans, and there's people that's doing that and I don't feel like they feel like they're in competition with anyone as well.
And they're just winning, man. Do you, man? And we really feel that that's what you've been doing all your career, man. Just doing it for you, man. Doing it for your fans.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we've got the EP. You started on the album. What's your plans with the album? You're producing it, and then what? You a lot of collabs, because the one before had no collabs.
Nah, because the one before that, I felt maybe had too much collab, and they were big pop or big mainstream collabs. So with the next one, it was almost like kind of bringing it back to
you.
Yeah, and not even on the production side, because I didn't really produce nothing on that. I co-produced 2 tunes. It was Ghost and Businessman. But the music was, you could say, there's a lot of trap music. I got beats. Cardo probably made half of it. Cardo made God's Plan for Drake. So yeah, I was bringing it back to like kind of hip hop, just straight bars. But with this one, well, we've got the EP out now. But with the next album, I want to produce a lot of it, just because it's a challenge for me to see what I'll make. I don't know what I'm gonna make, and then it's almost more satisfying when you put something out there that you made the beat to, and it rings off. Like, it makes it more exciting.
For real. And then when you've got the beat, you'll see if you feel you need a guest on there. You know, you feel who would be appropriate to join you on that.
Right, and then that's the other interesting thing as well. How are they gonna hear your beat? Like, how are they gonna approach it? Because they're not gonna approach it like I will.
You know, you're obviously taking it back to that hardcore scene, that jungle scene, like, you know, taking it back to the essence, man, where a lot of this came from, man.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan of drum and bass and jungle. I started off as a jungle DJ when I was like 13, and then I started writing bars. That's why I can rap so fast, because my first bars were to jungle.
Crazy.
So then eventually I slowed down to whatever, the garage tempo.
Yeah.
And then the early grime stuff, then when we were making those beats, was kind of around the garage tempo, was based on that tempo. But then some of the songs on Boy in the Corner are drum and bass tempo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always pay homage to drum and bass, just that whole era. But then, like you said, you got the grime stuff on there, you got P Money and C Kane, new generation. I didn't even know who she was. I was just looking for like a sick female lyricist. So I went on YouTube, looked at all of them, and they're all doing their thing. But she's one. When I heard her, I was like, yeah, she fits this song, because P Money was already on it. Me and P Money was already on it. So I'm thinking, who's good enough to go after P Money? That's not a joke. Lyrically,
no joke.
Yeah, he can't be touched.
Yeah,
like,
no
you know,
joke.
he's flawless.
Yeah.
So, and she came through. I literally just called her. I was like, yo, what's going on? And she came to the studio, recorded it. That song's called Spin Ya. That's on this EP.
Mad. Now, Boy in the Corner, 2003. How long ago is that then? What? 15 years.
Mad.
Now, I've stayed.
And technically, it was made before that and leaked. Half of Boy in the Corner, I remember it leaked before it came out, and then that's kind of gave it a bit more of a buzz, and then it officially got released in, what was it, 2003?
Yeah. Time for the Mercury's.
Right, exactly.
Time for the Mercury's,
Yeah. So, and I Love You must have been out at least like a year and a half
exactly.
before. Yeah.
Crazy video as well, man. Crazy video.
I've always been into that set the tone for me, doing different videos.
Yeah, a classic video.
The video with me and Skepta, like, I'll show you on the phone afterwards, but that one, that's gonna be like, that's a big one as well. The same thing, I wanted to come away from what people expect, because it's 2 titans. So I wanted it to be a movie. Back in the 90s, we had that era where Hype Williams, where everyone had a Hype Williams video.
Yeah, you had $1 million budget videos,
Look
like
like
$1
movies.
million. Yeah, they were mini movies. Yeah,
so I think it's only right. People, someone like me and Skepta, like, after, it's not like I've done huge videos before, but for me and Skepta, it has to be that. I didn't want to stand in front of the blocks or just in the club and all that. We can do that anytime, innit? But this one I wanted to do something big. But I Love You set the tone for me doing
for
different
real,
videos.
man. And that was such a creative video, like with that girl rhyming, mad. The studio recorded was in Bristol. Or Chippenham, one of those.
Boy in the Corner?
Yeah, wasn't that?
Nah, Boy in the Corner's in Bermondsey.
Was that in Bermondsey? Which one was in Bristol?
I don't know. They did a little piece of it in Sheffield.
Right, I stayed in a house.
It was in Sheffield.
Yeah, was that in Sheffield?
Yeah, Sheffield.
I was doing a gig up there. And they put us in there.
Kenwood.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's like a house where you
can stay there.
And then they showed me this little hatch, and you go down into the basement.
And that's where,
that was the studio.
So
yeah,
I think I was there for a couple of weeks. I think I finished Jezebel in there in that studio, and there might have been a couple that didn't make the album. And the rest of it was kind of just tweaking bits and all that. But the majority of that was made in Bermondsey.
And what studio was that?
Bermondsey. I don't even know if it's there anymore. But it was it's the old. It used to be an old sugar factories. I can't remember what it was even called when we were there. But yeah, that's where we made
crazy.
That one. Yeah.
Now, you had like a work ethic, man. Like Boy in the Corner, then Showtime.
Yeah.
And then soon after Maths and English. But do you think there was times when there was like lulls?
Nah.
Or were you always working, even though we weren't seeing you, was just like permanently on tour?
Yeah, I've been going around the world.
Just grinding.
Since Boy in the Corner, non-stop.
Yeah.
So, it's only in the last, 5 years or something like that, because of social media, everyone can show everyone where they are now.
Yeah, exactly.
But
otherwise it's a secret, man.
So I've been doing that for 15 years.
So if you
all over the world.
Exactly. So if you was in Australia, nobody
you wouldn't
would
know.
You would know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how it's always been for me.
Always on that festival. Now,
not even just festivals, my own shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you went from like Grime, Stand Up Tall, Maths and English with Pussy Hole and that, and then you changed to that dance sound. Like, what made you do that? And was that on your own label as well? Yeah,
that was. So just make it clear, I'm the original, really independent. No one round the no label round the back end. Like really independent, platinum album, 4 number 1s on it. So that's what that album did.
And what you've got to understand about that, in those days, a platinum album
sold,
and number 1s. That was a lot of records.
Right.
That was a lot of records.
Right.
And that's like that. It's not like nowadays.
Right.
That was a lot of records.
It was, and for someone that like you said, the scene I came from. It wasn't a regular thing for someone to.
For real.
Yeah, most artists that come out might have had one album, and then or one hit and kind of faded out. For me to reach, that was my 4th album, and it's my biggest album. So what happened was, I was signed to XL for free. So there was 3 albums: Boy in the Corner, Showtime, Maths and English, like you said. That was my 3 album deal.
Yeah.
So, and I completed them. They all went gold, and my deal was up.
Now, did they want to re-sign you?
Yeah. So there was a few other different people, but they didn't want. They weren't showing me the money that I wanted.
Right.
And by this time, I think I'd been on tour with like Justin Timberlake.
Paying attention.
Yeah,
paying attention.
All different, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, seeing a different world, paying attention to it.
Like arenas, stadiums.
Exactly.
But I'm just like supporting act.
Obviously, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I understand all this grime stuff's good, and people are enjoying it.
But it's gold.
Sometimes you need.
It's a gold album. That's a gold album.
Yeah, but sometimes just weren't enough sing-alongs or hooks because it was just so hard because that's what I was into, innit? So, one time I met Calvin Harris at a festival. And I'd like what he'd done because he had Born in the 80s and all those tunes. And then he'd done a tune with Mitchell Brothers.
Right.
And that's the first time I saw, like, okay, he can have rappers on his tunes.
Exactly.
So I said, yo, I want to do something.
Plus, he's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
He's a very cool, like, as a producer, he's a very cool guy.
Of course. He's like, he knows so much about music. And he's a massive rap fan as well. So, so then he... was going back and forth, he's sending me stuff, and I had this lyrics. I had the Dance With Me lyrics that I'd written to a Groove Armada beat because they sent me something, but my manager's like, I think these lyrics are a bit too good for this beat. So then I think he hit up like Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin sent me that beat for Dance With Me, and I remember hearing it and just loving it because it's so funky. I've always been into different stuff. Just like I grew up liking West Coast music, West Coast rap more than East Coast rap until I got older.
And you used to like that Texas stuff.
South stuff, yeah. Because I like the bounce and I like the funk. The head knocking stuff was cool. I really got into the East Coast stuff, I guess, when Jay-Z dropped his That Your Chick.
Right.
And then that inspired I Love You.
Yeah.
the tune. So anyway, let me go back to it. So
yeah,
then,
and is that your chick was also? You could feel that was a down south influence track. It wasn't a New York beat.
Definitely, because it came out around the same time as "What's Your Fantasy," Ludacris,
Exactly.
which also inspired. So that's what that whole call and response thing was. You know what I mean?
And Timbaland and all of that going on.
It was all Timbaland, innit? Yeah. So what was I saying again? Yeah. So then I recorded "Dance With Me" and we wanted to give it to XL, but he didn't want. Well, they didn't want that from me. They wanted me to continue.
So did they actually say no to that?
I think they did. My man told me that, and they said that the money as well
wasn't right. Yeah, so they were just
considering that I felt like
like because the money was reflecting what they were thinking of you and that record.
That's how I took it.
Yeah.
But with that record, they just didn't want.
They didn't
that
see
from.
it.
They didn't want.
Yeah.
They just or they maybe they did see it, and that's not when they wanted it. I don't know because it's not like I spoke to them about it. So. The option was like, we could sign to these other labels, you could sign to them for this, or you could do it yourself.
Or could just do it.
And I came up on Pirate Radio putting out white labels. Before that was dub plates, then white labels. Going taking, it is, creative records to the record shop yourself.
Yeah.
So
and making money from it as well.
Right, cash.
Making money from it.
So I just saw it as a bigger level of that.
Bigger
and because,
hustle.
and I looked up to Jay-Z and Master P. So
especially P
and Birdman and all that,
especially Master P though.
The independent hustle, and then the big majors coming in and giving them the P or whatever and all that as well. So I was like, let's do it. That excited me to do it myself, and then we did it. We shot the video for like
New
10
Energy,
grand.
that stage of your career, like 3 albums deep, like New Energy.
Yeah,
not same old.
Me personally, I wasn't against pop music. I thought, why not give it a go? And I feel like I'm like, it's happy music. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Now it must have been like. You must have been aware it was going to be a challenging time.
No,
because there's you as like one of the fathers, one of the foundations of grime music, and Boy in the Corner was like a defining moment of grime of that era, and then also with the success of that, that's what you represented and that's who you were. So suddenly to flip into the dance. Like surely you must have,
but it wasn't a sudden flip. You already said 3 albums out.
Yeah.
So that was like 7 years.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a flip. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
no, you've done your work, man.
Yeah.
You put the work in.
I mean, that's 15 songs on each album. So that's not including the songs that didn't make the album.
Exactly.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
like
a
saying.
lot of work.
So, and progression. So with me, I wasn't looking at it like it was going to be any kind of. I just feel like this song sounds really happy. It's really good. I didn't even know it was going to be that big. I just know that when I kept hearing the beat, I couldn't turn it off. I don't think about all that stuff that everyone else. Yeah, like I only think about it now that I've heard people saying it, and some people try to make it like it's something in it. Like, like what does that mean? I don't know what you're even on about. Cool. So then I put it out, made the 10 grand video or something over in Notting Hill Arts Club. Like just whoever we knew, shot the video. The song went to #1. For a month.
Mad.
For a month.
And that's real sales.
Really independent.
Yeah,
like
and
for real.
Real sales of that era. That's when #1 was a lot of records.
And then guess what happened? Did another tune. Bonkers.
Yeah.
Which just got sent to me.
Yeah.
I was in Denver, doing a show in Denver. I had a show in Denver, and then the beat got sent to me, emailed to me. Like, do you want to? I heard the beat. I was like, I don't even know about this because this sounds like the music that I didn't like back when I was a kid. But I understand it now because now I've been to Ibiza, and these places, and understand this culture. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think I might have made Bonkers like around the same time as whatever. They all come out around the same time. Anyway. But then anyway, Bonkers came out after.
And how mad was Bonkers? How mad was that?
Crazy.
Record?
I remember the first place I played it, I'm sure it was Liverpool, and we dropped it, and the response was so mad,
crazy,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But again, that was #1 for 2 weeks. The only thing that knocked it off was Black Eyed Peas. Was that Boom Boom Pow?
Yeah.
So, and you know how big that was.
Yeah.
Then the next rhythm we put out, what's the next one after that? Put out
Holiday.
Yeah, #1 again for a few weeks.
And that caught the way you released that just caught the whole summer vibe.
Right.
Like the timing was perfect on that.
And that's Calvin Harris again.
Yeah.
He produced that.
Perfect.
And then even with the production, you see the bit on the end where it goes into that housey thing. If you notice after that, all house became that sound to the point where even Chris Brown was doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember Calvin reminds me. I remember he wanted to put that on the end of it, and I weren't sure, but I let him do it, and it worked. Then after that, what came out? What was the
Dirty
fourth?
Cash as well.
Dirty Cash was like number might have been number 10, but then there's the one we did with Florence that was number 2 that we did at the Brit Awards, and there was one more, Dirty Disco, that went to number 1 as well.
Dirty Disco is mad.
Right, yeah. Right. yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How crazy is that?
4 number 1s on the independent album, platinum. So to me, it worked, and then just it was such a happy time, and it takes you into those. Even doing things like Capital Ball and stuff like that, but smashing it.
Yeah, and a headline as well.
Very happy, positive places. Like you think I'm coming from a place, bruv. You know where it is, bruv. Live murders and all sorts of stuff. So to come from that, come out of it, and then just like felt like I'd just and
just enjoy life, man. Celebrate.
Come on,
celebrate
like seeing
life.
the nicest stuff going around the world, doing these big festivals, sunshine, just so all that other stuff that they're talking about. I don't know, bruv. And up to me, my thing is experimenting in music. Like I watched Outkast and stuff like that, and they went through the same thing. They just got all mad experimental. And what was their biggest album? It's Love Below.
Yeah, oh, right, right.
I'm sure it's all that. Yeah, when Andre went mad.
Yes.
But Hey Ya's one of the biggest songs ever, surely.
Yeah.
So I care about music. The grime thing in the beginning, that's where I was. Like I was on Pirate Radio. There was nothing else. We didn't have X Factor. What else was I about? I was there, and I helped pioneer and cultivate a whole sound. Like for real. I sat there, and sometimes I don't get the credit. Not that I don't get the credit, but I was really doing it before some of these people that they love to keep talking about. Like I know some debate about it. There's not. I changed the way people made their music. People who people say are the foundation, I changed the way they made music. So that's my contribution. So that should be enough. I should be able to make whatever. If I want to make country music or jump around with a violin, that's what I'm going to do.
And you as an artist has that right, man.
Everyone does.
You can't be limited by the genre.
Everyone, bruv, you know what's crazy? You don't know what's going to
step out. It's to be brave as an artist to step out your comfort zone.
Dr. Dre, what did he do? He did he was making that like electro stuff,
electro.
Isn't it?
He was like that West Coast electro sound.
And then look, he smashed it with the Chronic.
Yeah. And
then really, that weren't even his thing. Really, Cypress Hill were the ones that were really about that weed and all that. But he found something that worked. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to stumble upon. Marvin Gaye, jazz music. He was a jazz singer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what buzzed him. Thankfully, I've done well in pretty much everything I've touched.
Yeah, and say for instance your 4th album.
Right.
It wasn't tongue-in-cheek, but it was.
It was tongue-in-cheek.
But no, say it wasn't. But it was like Boy in the Corner Revisited Part 2.
But I feel like Showtime was that.
Yeah, exactly. But where would you be now? You know what I mean?
Anyway, right.
Exactly. Where would you be now?
Right. That's why I don't even dwell on.
And that experience of going around the world and working with those other bands and other types of music, man.
Yeah.
Opened your eyes,
Opened
man.
up. So Red Hot Chili Peppers, Muse, Prodigy, also like just Shakira. All sorts, you know what I mean? I've made music, done a song with Shakira, done all sorts of. That's how it should be, man. Shirley Bassey, whatever, Robbie Williams.
And you as a person, man, because I remember those early days, man. You had one attitude, fam.
You know what?
An attitude, fam.
No, that's just what people thought.
I'm not gonna lie, you was mad at the world. Like when you come up, man, you was hardcore, fam.
No,
you was that hardcore kid in the corner,
but look what I came.
I'm not lying,
from.
Man,
No,
he had attitude, fam.
Nah, but that's what people thought I had attitude. Half the time, I didn't even speak.
I know.
Yeah,
you had a bad attitude.
No, it wasn't a bad attitude. Nah, man. Now I'm a grown man. I'll speak up for it. It wasn't bad attitude. You have to think. You throw an 18-year-old into a music industry with everything that's all happening. I've just come from a very, very rough place where you have to watch yourself. There's raves I have to go to. Just like you don't know what's even gonna happen, and then you're just given all this attention. So that's why I was quiet a lot of the time, and I was lean as well. A lot of the time, I was whatever. I come to the studio lean. I didn't have a lot to say. I didn't know what was going on half the time. I just knew I just had to just get on with it. So it wasn't that I had an attitude I didn't like no one. After time I just didn't even know what to say. I just wanted to get on the mic and spit. I've heard that people thought, I'm not sure about him, because I used to go to the raves. I just wanted the mic. Just give me the mic and I'll spit and I'll go home. I don't want to hang around. I don't want your number. I don't want to do none of this stuff. I want to get on there. I want people to hear what I'm doing. What they're the sick MCs. Yeah, I want to be with them. I want to MC with them. I want to make a tune with them. And that's it. That's where it was.
And the real problem for you were growing up under the spotlight as an artist.
Right.
You were growing up, and there's no blueprint, there's no rule
At all.
book.
I was
and
the
there's
blueprint.
No one to really. You are the blueprint, and there's
Right.
no one to guide you.
None.
And like to say, oh, you can fuck with this guy.
It went wrong for the people before me. You know it did.
100, and it went wrong for a lot of people after you as well, man.
Right. So
and a lot of people got it wrong. Yeah.
because and what came me through, what looked like my attitude was me just trying to be focused and not being too much passer and get too involved in stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's where it was.
But I hear what you're saying now, but in all fairness, I do remember some moments over the years where there was definitely a little attitude there. I'm just being honest with you.
What kind of attitude? Tell me, man. We could talk about it. It's all right.
I remember one time you come through to see me on the radio. And it was a blessed moment. It was great to have you there, man. It was a big moment for me. But there was also like Wycliffe from the Fugees there.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit like, who is this dread? Who's this dude in the studio?
You think I didn't know who Wycliffe Jean was, bro?
No. But you didn't know, but there was a little. I'm just saying there was a little attitude.
Bro,
there.
it's Wycliffe Jean.
I'm just telling.
No, he started rap battling me. That's what happened.
Correct.
So I'm from a scene that clashes. You have to understand that looks to me.
The freestyle was intense.
I'm Dylan Mills from Bow. Fugees was like the biggest thing on telly, Killing Me Softly. I'm in a room with Wycliffe Jean, and he's just put it on me.
Yes, he's putting on you. Do
you know how mad that is, bro?
He was being slick.
Do you know how mad that is?
And he's no fool, man.
Bruv, it's Wycliffe Jean.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I don't even know what I was supposed to do. Like,
you handled yours, fam.
I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm
as
supposed
you
to.
man.
Yeah, it was
a great moment.
Yeah, but that don't sound like that's not good enough example.
I do remember there was a little bit. I don't want to go into it now, but
you should. It's 2018, man.
Well, I just remember it was one time when I went outside to bring you back into the building because you was a little mad at me at one stage.
I've been mad at you a couple times still. It's all right though, but yeah.
What was another time you were mad at me?
I don't know. You must have been chatting shit or something. And then I told you about you've had a little dig every back in the day. You had moments where and I never knew why is this guy why is he having what have I done? You ever had a couple?
Never.
Yeah. Nah, there was a couple. And I addressed it. I addressed it.
I think it's just your bad attitude.
No, it's not bad attitude. It's not bad attitude, bruv. It's not bad attitude. I addressed it once on the freestyle with I came up with DWE and Footsie and I addressed it and you said I'm glad you heard. Yes. So that's what you said.
Yes.
So that means that
yes.
So that's that.
I think that was good because I was just giving you some advice.
You're just jibsing, bruv. What advice? You're just saying anything now, bruv. Now, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, bruv. Come on.
Obviously, the Napa incident did change you as well, and I respect the change in that, man, because it was a time when people who were rolling with weren't there for you. You're on your own, and I think that's a good wake up call. You've got to handle this yourself, man. And I think because we've all been through incidents in our lives,
right?
Do you know what I mean? Mm. And after my incident, it was like, some of the people around me aren't going to give me a long life at this rate. Do you know what I mean? So that was a changing point. That was definitely a changing point.
Well, sort of. It was just like any other change, like any other big thing that happens in your life. But what did I do? I came back. I just got on with what I was doing.
Exactly.
I went straight to the studio.
Yes, and that's the thing of it. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Right, it can, or it can send you nuts.
Or it can send you nuts. Yeah.
But I just carried on working, bruv. That's all.
Did it send you nuts at one stage?
Of course, it's gonna send anybody nuts. You're gonna have all sorts of stuff going through your head, but I just love the music. So, bruv, I just love all of this. That's all this has been about the last 15 years. I just love music. That's it. I love rap music. I just want to be a wicked rapper and make wicked rap songs or dance songs, whatever. I just want to get people moving. I don't care in what capacity. If they play my stuff at raves, grime raves, weddings, I enjoy it. It's still a hobby. That's it. And then you can take care of your people then as well.
For real.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, I remember not because I was never much on the festival circuit, but I remember at some festival I was at, I was amazed about the stage show, because if you haven't witnessed how you tear it down, especially in those early days, you were out there doing, as you say, no social media, so it was all a best kept secret. You were out there tearing down arenas and massive festivals as headline, and really putting on an amazing show.
I learned early to just crowd participation and getting everyone involved. You know what I mean? And I just enjoyed that because obviously, again, from the rave, the sound system culture and all that, it was all about that. Getting reloads and getting everyone to shout your bars to you and all that. And then even like in the early 90s, I used to watch MTV. I used to love seeing like the heavy metal people and the grunge people and their mosh pits.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted that. Like so I always worked on my show. I knew that I'd have to put a show on. And I guess that dictated some of the music too. So then you want to start making different music for different vibes.
Absolutely, because Bonkers is an arena record.
Jump up and down.
Isn't an arena, you know, that's a
wherever
festival
I play it.
That's like next level here.
Right, and then you got the stuff that's the head nod shit or the hip hop shit, you know what I mean?
Now, I did not know the story about Fix Up Look Sharp, but like, that really, touched my heart when you said that, family.
Exactly.
That really touched my heart. I'm not going to lie. I did not know that story. After all these years, from like 2003 to last year, I did not know that story. And it touched my heart, man. And I felt like, it really meant a lot when you said that, to be honest.
And
like,
goes back to my example, making different music for different arenas. Like, Westwood, I need a song that Westwood can play. Like, just same way, I need to make a song for the festivals. I need to, so that's where Calvin Harris and then people come involved in that is. But Fix Up Look Sharp, because I grew up on that generation. Hip hop was Westwood, a few other people too, but that Friday night show, that was the big time. Like, so I was like, I'm on every other pirate station, but I felt like that was the top. So that's where Fix Up Look Sharp came into it. Even though it was a kind of an old school beat, because around those times it would have been like Dipset. That would have been the sound. Just
I mean, that was an old school breakbeat, but crazy.
But I knew it would work for the festivals and that.
Yeah, it worked perfectly, man. Well, it's great to have you back, so to speak. I know you haven't been away, but it's like you just feel in the mix and coming in and ripping the mic down. It's a great feeling, man. And we're of a generation, man, that got nothing but love, man. So real proud to have you here, man. Thank you, family.
Westwood.
Yeah, trying to be, baby.
Come on.
Trying to be. Tim Westwood TV.